stand or fall together.
Against the violent reality of war.
Be sure you bury this man.
Be the good shepherd, Father. Keep them on the path.
And if that path leads to the slaughter...
Stunning new drama from ITV. John Thor is Monsignor Reynard.
Whose name you commit such sacrilege?
Monday at 9.
Following the ITV News headlines, it's London Today, coming up next.
Quick-step laminate flooring can now be installed without glue. You decide where to start, and it's finished in no time. You push the panels together and click, it's ready. Another advantage, you can walk on the floor straight away. A perfect finish every time. Quick-step, the floor with character. You can reinstall it up to 3 times with the Uniclick system. For more information, call us free of charge. 0800 959 238.
I told you not to pick
I wasn't picking it.
You were.
I wasn't.
You were. I don't fancy him. Don't. They make me laugh.
The Harrises will argue about almost anything,
He does.
except bird's eye chicken dippers.
You want the tea? Yes, yes!
Prepared with succulent prime chicken breast in a crispy coating
Mayonnaise is better. You use a fork.
that you can eat however you like. Bird's eye chicken makes any family get together.
A chance to look at our new style Wednesday afternoon lineup now on Carlton, which starts next week. There's no change to the ITV lunchtime news, still at 12:30, and that's followed by the news for our region in London Today, still at 12:55. The double episode of Blue Heelers, beginning on Tuesday afternoons, concludes on Wednesdays at 1:35, and then finally Tricia and her guests move to the new time of 2:05. And that's our new look here on Carlton, which all begins next week. Well, just a reminder that because of the live football tonight at 7:30, Coronation Street moves to 9:45. Now the ITV News headlines with Trevor MacDonald.
Good afternoon. The headlines and details of what's ahead on the ITV Evening News. The Prime Minister is about to make a statement about what he expects from the Health Service following the promise of substantial extra investment in the budget. He's expected to say that a lack of funds will no longer be accepted as an excuse for not delivering results. Police investigating the murder of Stephen Lawrence 7 years ago have made 2 new arrests. They're not thought to be connected to a new appeal made by Stephen's parents. The 2 people arrested are not any of the 5 original suspects in the case. And the 10-year-old boy left paralyzed by a road accident has been awarded more than £5 million in damages in what's thought to be one of the highest compensation settlements of its kind. The award will help provide Faisal Luha with care for the rest of his life. So join me for more on that and the day's other developments on the ITV Evening News at 6:30.
Good afternoon, I'm Alastair Stewart. This is London Today. 2 men are still being questioned by police in connection with the murder of Stephen Lawrence. And following news of their arrests, a South London MP has now volunteered to act as a confidential go-between for witnesses too scared to speak to the police hunting Stephen's racist killers. Christopher Peacock reports.
Held overnight in a South London police station not far away from Eltham, 2 people are under arrest, being questioned in connection with the racist murder of Stephen Lawrence, who was stabbed as he waited for a bus nearly 7 years ago. The 5 suspects, who were all charged but never convicted, are not among the 2 arrested. The 2 latest arrests came before Stephen's parents, Doreen and Neville Lawrence, made an appeal for fresh information about their son's murder.
I'm appealing to the mothers, the girlfriends of the boys who were at the time, who would have heard something, the boys would have probably confessed to them. There's one particular girl who I understand that had heard a confession of one of them about the death of Stephen.
Local MP Clive Efford today volunteered to act as a go-between for witnesses who might feel intimidated in giving evidence directly to the police.
There may be people out there who have information, who may be feeling a great deal of stress knowing that some time has passed and they've not come forward and they've not given that information to the police previously, and they may be frightened of the consequences of coming forward so late.
Deputy Assistant Commissioner John Grieve said new forensic techniques had given fresh hope to the inquiry. Further tests will be carried out on a knife and a jacket found close to the murder scene. Detectives are convinced that 6 people were involved in the killing of Stephen Lawrence. They remain optimistic that this is their best chance to date in tracking down the killers. At Eltham, this is Christopher Peacock for London Today.
And we follow that with breaking news. A third man was arrested today by police in London and is being questioned at a South London police station, Scotland Yard say, not as a result of the Crime Watch appeal. In a separate development, 3 of the original suspects in the murder of Stephen Lawrence have been arrested in connection with an alleged illegal immigrant scam. Brothers Neil and Jamie Aker and Gary Dobson were detained after raids on their homes following an investigation by Kent Special Branch and immigration officials. The 3, along with another man, have been bailed pending further inquiries, but a 5th man was charged with assisting illegal entry. Police have arrested 62 people in raids targeting known racists across London. They're alleged to have committed offences ranging from race attacks to the publication of racist material. A police spokesman said that more than 80 people were expected to have been arrested by the end of the day. Chris Evans has told London Today how he'll continue to give his backing to Ken Livingstone despite facing a heavy fine for backing the mayoral candidate on his radio show. He's also been warned by the radio authority that his Virgin station could have the terms of its licence altered if it decides that impartiality rules have been breached. Our political correspondent Simon Harris reports.
Chris Evans took a shot across the bows today, wrapped over the knuckles by the radio regulator for backing Ken Livingstone on air. But the stern warning won't stop him from handing over £200,000 to Livingstone's campaign.
I mean, I've talked to my financial people who agree with me that it's something that we should do, and we have a figure in mind, and when we see what Ken's going to do with it and what he's going to do when he's done that with it, then we'll take matters further.
So today we've been told officially by the Radio Authority, the governing body of radio, independent radio in Great Britain, that there's something I can't talk about ever again?
Ever again.
Ever?
He was certainly playing a different tune on his breakfast show this morning, although few would describe Chris Evans as gagged. His problems began when he offered Livingstone £100,000 on his show on Monday, prompting this unfortunate response from Frank Dobson.
It rather backs up the advice I used to get from my old mum, which was to steer clear of redheads.
Evans' reply was to up the stakes, offering Livingstone £200,000 and calling on Tony Blair to dump Dobson.
I suppose if anybody took a lot of notice of Chris Evans, it might make a difference to me. I don't mind. I don't think he was trying to infringe the representation that People Act. All I will say is I love people with ginger hair. Can I have the cheque now, please, Chris?
Once again, the battle between Labour's official candidate and unwanted candidate is overshadowing the election campaign. This is Simon Harris for London Today.
A Surrey secondary school is to be partly privatised, even though it was praised recently by inspectors. Tory County Council seeking a private sector partner to manage France Hill School in Camberley. It's the first time such a move has been considered for a school not regarded to be failing. It presents a challenge to the government, which has so far encouraged privatisation only as a last resort. That's it for now, but coming up on London Tonight, the incredible story of the Good Samaritan who rescued a motorist trapped in his car in a lake, and why supermarket shoppers are dancing in the aisles. Join Tash and me at 6. Until then, a very good afternoon to you.
Carlton Weather is sponsored by Amarada, the energy company.
Hello again. We've done brilliantly well over the last 2 or 3 weeks, but this is the end of it, I'm afraid. Make the most of the sunshine this afternoon because the next couple of days are much more unsettled. Even overnight tonight we'll see some showery outbreaks of rain, especially in the west of the region, but it's going to stay mild. And tomorrow, much more cloud than we've had today, and again some showery bursts of rain coming in from the west and moving up towards the north and east. Some of us may miss them, but plenty of showers around. Temperatures, though, still on the mild side, up to 14 or 15.
For a more detailed 5-day outlook, call Weather Update, sponsored by Amarada.
We moved to this area because it's rural and a lovely place to bring up children. However, their safety is being compromised more and more every day. Last year, our local council introduced a Walk to School campaign. They wanted to encourage parents to get their cars off the road and walk their children to school. They sold the idea, suggesting that we should all look after our environment and get fit and healthy at the same time. However, with the state of the roads and crossings in this area, we're lucky if we get to school in one piece, let alone fit and healthy. The main crossing that a lot of us have to face every day is notoriously dangerous. There have been a lot of accidents there, and I'm really not surprised. The traffic lights only allow you 10 seconds to get across, and the drivers are extremely aggressive and drive very badly. I have spoken to the council on numerous occasions to ask if they might either install a crossing or rephase the traffic lights, but it is like banging my head against a brick wall. It would be so easy to improve the journey to school, but nobody seems to be interested in any alternative. Something has to be done to improve safety for our children. We supported the council's campaign and followed their advice, but they now have to listen to us. It's a miracle that no one has been killed. In the winter months, when it actually gets dark in the afternoon, we get taxis home because it gets even more dangerous with poor visibility, and the risk is just not worth taking. As parents, we are constantly worried about the journey to school every day. It is very frustrating that no one cares, and we're not being listened to. I am desperately afraid that it is going to take the death of a child to actually get something done.
If you have something to shout about, call the Your Shout information line on 0870 600 7280 or visit our website.
Hi guys, yes, it's 3 past. I'm Steve and this is CITV, and today we've got a very cartoony afternoon for you. We've got Maisie Matt, she'll be here a bit later on. Also, Oggy and the Cockroaches and Dog and Duck will be here in just a sec. But first, let me tell you about this great